Let's get into the first big one, true multimodality. Now, I know that sounds like a total mouthful of tech jargon, but stick with me here because what this actually means for you in practice is a complete game changer for how you can use AI. Let's break it down. So what's happening here is a really fundamental shift. See, before, an AI might analyze a video by splitting it up. Looking at the frames over here, listening to the audio over there. It was all disconnected. Now, Gemini understands it all as one single thing. It links what it hears to what it sees in the very same instant. It's finally getting the full picture. And here's where all that technical stuff becomes incredibly practical. Just imagine you do a quick, kind of a messy screen recording showing a new team member how to change a setting in Gmail. You just upload that video, and in seconds, Gemini doesn't just transcribe it, it understands the process. And then bam, it spits out a clean, step-by-step checklist. That one-off 5-minute recording just became a permanent training document. For anyone in operations or training, that is a massive, massive time saver. Okay, update number 2. This one builds directly on that idea of understanding. We've all been hearing about these massive context windows, the ability to upload tons of files at once. But here's the crucial difference. There is a world of difference between an AI that can simply hold your documents and an AI that actually understands them. And that is the upgrade we're talking about now. And the proof is right here in this number. Gemini 3.0 is now a staggering 60% better at those needle-in-a-haystack tasks. We are talking about finding that one specific data point that's buried on page 287 of a PDF you uploaded alongside 10 other documents. It doesn't just find it, it knows what to do with it. So this really requires a mental shift from us. We have to stop seeing that context window as just a digital storage bin where we dump all our files. Instead, you've got to think of it as an active working memory. It's like having a colleague you can ask to cross-reference a video with a spreadsheet and find those hidden connections. Or even better, the contradiction. And check out this incredible real-world example. An analyst fed Gemini a year's worth of Meta's earnings call videos and all of their super dense financial PDFs. And the prompt was simple: find any discrepancies. Gemini doesn't just summarize, it connects the dots, pointing out that while an executive on video claimed strong momentum, the PDFs showed a $4.4 billion loss in that exact same division. That single insight could have taken a team of humans days to find. All right, moving on to our third big update. Your Workspace search just got a major supercharger. Now, searching across your Google apps, that's not new. But let's be honest, it was always a little hit or miss, right? You kind of cross your fingers and hope for the best. Well, that inconsistency is gone. This is now a reliable daily driver tool you can actually count on. Let me give you a perfect example. A colleague you worked with last year asks for a testimonial. What's the old way? You spend, half an hour digging through old emails and folders, trying to remember specific details. The new way? You just ask Gemini. Find everything related to this person and draft me a testimonial. It sifts through everything and drafts a note that cites the specific projects and deliverables you worked on together. It's done. Or think about that classic Monday morning inbox disaster. Instead of that endless, anxiety-inducing scroll, you can now just say, hey, scan my emails from last week, find anything with a deadline, and tell me what needs a response today. It just cuts through all the chaos, pulls out the urgent threads, and hands you a prioritized to-do list. You go from feeling overwhelmed to totally in control in just a few minutes. And this one might be my personal favorite, the dreaded performance review. This is an absolute lifesaver. You can ask Gemini to search your entire work history for the last 6 months, find your major projects, pull out the quantifiable results, and draft the review for you. It turns what was an entire afternoon of painful recollection into a 10-minute task. Which, by the way, leads to a great new rule of thumb. If finding something is going to take you more than 10 minutes of digging, just ask Gemini first. Okay, update number 4. This is where things start to feel a little bit like science fiction. We're moving way past AI that just gives you blocks of text. Gemini can now build you interactive tools. We're talking actual little apps and dashboards on the fly. The official name for this is Generative Surfaces. And to really understand how this is even possible, just look at the jump on the slide. This benchmark basically tests how well an AI can understand the layout of a screen. The old model was at about 11%. Gemini 3.0 is at nearly 73%. That isn't just an improvement. It's a phase shift. It's a fundamental leap that lets it build tools for you, not just write text at you. So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, imagine you're comparing 3 different newsletter platforms. You give Gemini their pricing pages and you ask for a comparison. Instead of getting a boring static table, it can build you a live interactive tool. I'm talking a custom dashboard with a calculator where you can drag a slider for your subscriber count and immediately see your potential profit on each platform. And here's the pro tip that unlocks all of this power. You just have to ask for the controls you want. You can literally say, build me a dashboard with a slider for my budget and a toggle to filter by region. You're not just asking for information anymore. You are directing the construction of your own custom analysis tool. It's wild. And that brings us to our fifth and final major updates. Now this one, it's less about a specific feature and more about a fundamental shift in how we need to think about interacting with AI. The short version is this. Gemini got much better at understanding what you mean, even when your instructions are a little vague. The crucial takeaway here is this shift from prompt engineering to what we're now calling context engineering. For the last couple of years, we've all been obsessing over getting the perfect words in the perfect order in our prompts. Well, that's becoming less and less important. What matters now is giving the AI the best raw materials, the right documents, the right examples, the right data. The quality of your input now matters way more than the poetry of your prompt. And this example makes it perfectly clear. Let's say you need to draft a LinkedIn post in your VP's unique style. Instead of trying to describe that style with fuzzy words like punchy or inspirational, you just upload 3 of their old posts. Then you give Gemini some dry report and just say, rewrite this based on these examples. See? It's not guessing at a vibe. It's actually analyzing the sentence structure, the vocabulary, the rhythm. You're showing, not telling. Okay, before we wrap up, I've got one last thing for you. Kind of like a bonus feature. It turns out Gemini has been trained to be less of a sycophant. It's actually designed to be less agreeable and more critical. In other words, your AI is now willing to disagree with you and point out your mistakes. Now, why on earth would you want that? Well, imagine you've just combined slides from 3 different teams into one big presentation. You ask the old AI for feedback and you get back, looks great. Totally useless. Now you can ask Gemini to find the weaknesses in this deck, and it might come back and say, hey, the revenue target on slide 5 doesn't line up with the final forecast on slide 20, and leadership is definitely going to question that. It's like having a built-in partner to red team your own work before anyone else gets to see it. And really, all of this points to one bigger trend. We are watching AI evolve from a tool that just follows commands into a partner that truly understands context. And that leaves us with a final and pretty crucial question to think about. As our tools make this fundamental shift, how do our jobs and our own roles need to shift right along with them?